Again, welcome to everybody to this meeting this afternoon. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of a lot of people from our speaker's company, PowerHouse Corporation. Would you all stand, please? People from PowerHouse. Okay, thank you. Let me introduce the speaker to you. Our speaker today is Mr. David Long. David Long is Senior Vice President of Acquisitions and Investments with PowerHouse Development Corporation in Pasadena, California. Mr. Long specializes in the acquisition, entitlement, and development of mixed-use and retail projects in California. Before joining PowerHouse, Mr. Long was associated with Urban Pacific Partners, an Orange County mixed-use developer. Mr. Long has also been associated with the Pasadena office of NAI Capital, Inc., a commercial real estate brokerage. Since 2005, Mr. Long has secured over $15 million worth of property for development. Mr. Long is a member of the Urban Land Institute, a California licensed real estate broker, and a member of the State Bar of Georgia. He also served in the federal government for over 8 years as a special agent investigating the influence of organized crime in labor unions and pension funds. Mr. Long has served on the adjunct faculty of Troy State University in Atlanta and currently serves on the faculty of American Intercontinental University in Los Angeles. Mr. Long holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from Howard University in Washington, D.C., and a JD from the University of Pennsylvania Law School in Philadelphia. We'd like to welcome Mr. David Long.
Thank you, Sean. Boy, I feel like a rock star here. Don't hold it against me that I'm a lawyer. I'm a nice guy. I thought lawyers were mostly nice until I graduated from law school. And then I started working with them. So, lawyer jokes don't offend me. Anyway, I'm here today to talk about mixed use in California. And how do I bring that slide back up? There we go. Okay. Smart growth and the mixed use development in California. Fad or panacea? Fad. Definition of fad is kind of a flash in the pan, that's slang, but kind of, you know, something here today, gone tomorrow. Panacea is a cure-all, you know, something that will take care of all the problems associated, in this case, something that would take care of all the problems associated with development in California, congestion, air pollution, all that stuff. Smart growth. Smart growth is a buzzword. How many of you have heard that before? Well, smart growth, if you read anything about planning, development these days, just Google smart growth and all kinds of stuff will come up. And it's just, the definition of that, I guess, would be something like development that is actually promoting sustainable growth rather than for the long term, rather than development that will promote congestion and declining property values in the long term. So, smart growth and the mixed-use development in California, fad or panacea? How many people think it's a fad? How many people think it's a panacea? And we have a lot of abstentions here. Okay. That's okay. What is mixed use?
Commercial and residential.
Retail and office.
Okay, I heard commercial and residential, and I heard office and retail. Lifestyle. Okay, all those things are actually correct. Office and retail is obviously a mixed-use development. Retail and residential is also a mixed-use development. Mixed use really is just the combining of real estate products, multiple real estate products of different types. Now, obviously, usually you're not going to see like industrial and residential because of the problems associated with the pollutants associated with some industrial development. Oftentimes these days you'll see mixed use composed of retail and residential with an office component, or just office and retail. Sometimes office and residential, but there's usually a retail component along with that. Why? Let's see here. I'm trying to remember what my next slide is. Okay, yeah, historical overview. Why are we hearing about mixed use now? Is mixed use a new thing? No. So why are we hearing so much about it now, if it's not a new thing? Sorry about that.
It's a trend.
It's a trend. And why is it such a trend here in California? Yes, sir.
Because the population has been growing rapidly.
That's right.
We have a traffic congestion. We have to solve the traffic from place where we live to place to work.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what? You folks on this side, I hope you forgive me that I stay on this side, because I'm going to get blinded by that light if I keep going back and forth. So, yes, sir.
The land is getting more and more expensive.
Yeah, land is getting more and more expensive.
The scarcity of available land in developed areas, that's why you have properties in developed areas, that's called mixed use.
And yeah, you're referring to infill development.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, sir. Did you have your hand up?
I was just saying, the city's going vertical.
Right. Right. And partly because of land values. Yeah. And it's in Los Angeles. Well, let's talk about development of East Coast cities. I'll stick with my little slide. East Coast, is mixed use something new out there?
No.
No, it's not. Why is it relatively a new concept here in Los Angeles, though?
We have a lot more land here.
Yeah, we have a lot more land. So what happened back east, the East Coast cities like New York, Boston, and Washington, D.C., and Midwestern cities like Chicago developed, their populations developed a lot earlier than here in Los Angeles. The East Coast cities, you know, they exploded. First wave of development, population explosion was after World War II. And then again, after World War I, and then again after World War II. And if you've lived back east, you can tell the difference between Los Angeles and New York or Boston, those coastal cities, where there's not just land forever. I'm from Chicago originally, and I've lived, obviously, in Philadelphia, where I went to law school. I've lived in Washington, D.C. as well. And I moved out here 5 years ago. I just couldn't get over the views here. I mean, you could see forever. And so what happened is Los Angeles did not develop, its population really did not explode until after World War II. What was so significant about World War II? What was the change?
Veterans coming home.
Veterans coming home, yes. And they were buying what? Cars. They were buying cars, and what's the American dream home?
Suburbs.
Suburban home. Single family home, 2-car garage, right? And so, and then combined here in Southern California with it seemed like there was an endless amount of land to develop. Developers here pretty much said, and communities here pretty much said, well, we can have it all. We got enough land to go on forever, and the way we'll link everybody together is we will build what? Freeways. So what happened here in Los Angeles was really unprecedented when it happened, and it's a lot of cities in the rest of the country, particularly in the South and West, have followed Los Angeles' suit. Atlanta, it's like a mini Los Angeles. Dallas, Houston, Phoenix, all those cities have